First off, let's break down this Devin Haney fight. Secondly, I love Antonio Tarver as a fighter, as a person, as a fighter who entertained us for years. He said something very irresponsible to me for the sport of boxing that made him who he is and everything he had to this day. This next statement by him is what brought me to break down Devin Haney's performance on why he did what he did and how he did it. He's getting a lot of criticism. He won his fight. He did his part. Somebody didn't do theirs for the rematch. So here we are. First, Antonio Tarver's statement.
He don't look comfortable in the ring, and the fight hasn't started yet. I want to see him start boxing. Jab. Why he sit there a whole 30 seconds in front of the man, ain't throw nothing? I just don't understand.
And Tarver knows the difference from what the fighter sees and does versus what the fan sees and thinks the fighter should see. He didn't give a fair account to Devin Haney's game plan because he did not understand. From round 2, we understood Devin Haney's game plan. If you paid attention, he was watching where Ramirez was going to sit. He was watching where Ramirez was going to attack. That means he did his film study properly. In this sequence right here, he backed into the corner. Ramirez set, he threw the jabs. Ramirez set again to throw. He ducked up under move and turned out the way. When Devin Haney was gonna throw the right hands, when Ramirez was deciding to lean to the right. Every time he did, Devin Haney let the right hand go in sequence right here. In this sequence, Devin recognizes Ramirez's feet were wide, which means he was not gonna be able to move. As soon as Jose Ramirez bounced up and down, Devin threw a punch in the middle of it and got him out of the way. That was followed up with Ramirez doing the exact same thing again, setting up wise, but Haney throwing the hook, mixing, adjusting, sitting on top of Ramirez, backing out and throwing a jab to freeze him. That sequence was capitalized by Haney back into the ropes, throwing and missing the right hand, but finishing off with a hook. Ramirez attacks, Haney ducks and grabs and makes him reset. Exchange 1. He studied Ramirez because as soon as he threw the jab, he threw a hook where Ramirez was going to go, and that was down, and he escaped out the pocket again. Haney gets ready to throw up his right hand again, but he has to wait for Jose Ramirez to bounce to the right. As soon as Jose is done up and down bouncing, he double jabs, gets him to lean to the right, boom, right hand on top. Haney has to wait for Ramirez to finish his movement. He threw the jab out, but he kept his lead hand out there to kind of frame Jose Ramirez. As soon as Jose Ramirez moves his head right back to the right and Haney's left hand is over there, boom, he shoots another right hand again once Jose leans. Defensively, Haney worked Jose Ramirez to perfection. He kept Jose Ramirez off balance, knowing that man has to settle down in order to throw his offensive attacks. He moved left, he moved right, and as soon as Jose Ramirez was comfortable enough to get ready to throw another punch, Haney stepped into it and made him reset with the clinch every single time. Right here, Haney doesn't do anything different than he did from the earlier rounds. Jose Ramirez squatted down. Haney threw a left hook to get up out of the space. Once again, repeated behaviors, studying and knowing your opponent. Something that Haney didn't do till later was this right here. After the right hand, he threw a hook to keep Jose Ramirez at bay. Ramirez gets close enough for Haney to utilize his best defense, and that's the shoulder roll. As soon as he does, he rolls it, and an uppercut comes right in the middle. Ramirez did good to miss that first jab. However, the next 3, especially the double on the head to the body that froze him right then and there, had already had him shook. Then Haney can feint to keep him at bay. He was in complete control from that point on. Here we are again, the repeated action. Haney recognizes Ramirez bouncing up and down, throws his 1-2, and finishes up with a hook and escapes using his feet, freezing Ramirez again. Ramirez is straight up. Haney shoots a 2-3 right down the middle where Jose Ramirez is and shuffles again to make Jose Ramirez reset. No engagement in the firefight. Haney notices Ramirez isn't set, throws a 1-2 down the pipe and a hook to put Ramirez off balance once he squats down. Ramirez bouncing up and down. As soon as he sees Haney jab, he leans to the right again. The one adjustment he does make is keeping his left hand up, but Haney just goes ahead and throws it to the body, keeping Jose Ramirez off balance. Perfect example of ring generalship is what Haney does right here in the middle of the ring. Subtle feints, simple jabs, a hook to check the man who is off balance, make him reset his feet, jab to make him sit back again. You back up out of space, shuffle, you win the engagement. Haney shoots a well-timed jab, Jose leans, Shane throws the right hand, and he throws him off balance again with a left hook. Haney probably recognizes that Ramirez is going to throw this hook. As soon as Ramirez does, Haney leans back out of the way, ducks up under the right hand, and initiates the clinch, making him reset. I can do this for the rest of the rounds of this fight. Devin Haney did exactly what the game plan was set to do. Him and his dad watched Jose Ramirez. They thought the best way for them to go about to get the victory were the ways I explained. Each and every single point here is that they watched the film, they studied, and he executed. You know what? At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is
still undefeated, and he is Devin the Dream Haney.